Hello, welcome to This Plan With Me. My name is Nicole. I'm a Linoka artist based in Melbourne. Today I'm going to be doing a bit of a reset and a plan for the next 3 to 4 months. So basically all of autumn, because of course I'm in the southern hemisphere, so I am just coming into autumn now. The majority of you are probably just about to get into your spring planning. So grab a cup of tea if you would like to work along and maybe have a think about your own plans for the next 3 or 4 months. Or maybe you might just find it fun to watch people plan their time and see how they come up with ideas for how they want to plan their creative life. For my planning, I use Notion. For just personal use, it's free. It's kind of just a blank page that you can fill in whatever way you want to. I've based my kind of layout on templates from a few different places and tailored them to suit myself. But you could do this planning using old-fashioned pen and paper, you could do it using spreadsheets or Word docs, Google Docs. Anything that feels easy to you, you should definitely use to do your planning. The reason that I'm doing this reset now, which is a little bit of an odd time to do it, it is the 12th of March, how quickly has that gone, is that I've been feeling so overwhelmed lately. I have a lot of ideas racing through my mind all the time, and without them being laid out for me and written down and kind of formalized, I know that a lot of this stuff is just going to stay ideas and it's going to keep stressing me out because I keep coming back to the same thoughts again and again because I haven't put them anywhere. I spent this weekend writing out all the thoughts that I had over a period of about 3 days, so that's filled up. I'm just going to make sure that actually focuses. That has filled up 2 full pages of my journal basically. So I'm going to basically transcribe all of this chaos, which is a pretty good representation of my brain right now, into my Notion so that it actually becomes a plan I can follow instead of crazy scribbles in my brain. Okay, so we're going to start on this. This is basically my index page. It is titled Memento Mori because I'm a creep, which means remember you will die. But basically it's a little bit of joke and a little bit of a reminder that I know I want to achieve certain things in my life and I want to get it done, and just like for everyone, time is limited and I want to keep moving. So I'm going to start on my goals and to-do lists. I've done a little bit of work on my Notion and I've transitioned the goals and to-do lists into just a goals section. I'm finding that I did have like a weekly to-do list in this section as well, and I just wasn't really using it. I think I prefer paper lists for like day-to-day list items, and I like to have some paper reminders around my working space. So my long-term goals this year are to create a weekly graphic novel page through 2024. I would like to get monetized on YouTube by July this year. I would like to get to 100 Patreons this year. I would like to publish my graphic novel. So with my graphic novel project, it's going to be divided into like chapter sections essentially. So at the end of this year, there will be 3 sections of kind of slightly varied length, and I want to publish those as a book. And then ideally, if I'm still enjoying it, if I think the project is still doing what I want it to do for me, I'm going to keep going both at the end of this year and into next year and just keep the project rolling. I would really like it to be an ongoing thing. Post 5 Reels/Shorts/TikToks a week. I've been doing really well at that. I don't really know how to put it in as a metric, but I have been doing that really consistently. And I would like to get to 15,000 followers on Instagram. So my Instagram kind of stalled at around like 11 to 12,000 followers. And in that time, the strategies really change that you need to use to essentially grow. So like consistency is always the thing, hence the 5 posts a week. But since I kind of initially grew on Instagram, the content has shifted to video significantly more, and I was really struggling kind of last year to create enough video content to actually continue growing. I want to put in place some monthly goals that are more around personal health and wellness, because while I've been hitting quite a lot of my targets in terms of the artwork that I want to produce and the content that I want to make around that artwork, I'm finding that I'm really struggling to also fit in downtime, and also downtime or rest time that isn't just like watching a TV show or like reading a book, that's a little bit more active and stimulating. I'm going to put in some things. I would like to swim twice. So there's a little bit over half of March left to go, so I'd like to go swimming, I guess, once a week for the rest of March, because soon it's going to get too cold to go swimming. We're going to go to the movies because it is my partner Chris and my anniversary on next Sunday, so we're going to go to the movies on Monday as kind of a celebration. Take a trip on the west gate. So there's a local ferry that is pretty close to us that goes across the river, and ever since we moved in September last year, I've been wanting to take a trip on it. It's like public transport prices, it's not a big deal thing, but I just want to do the thing, go across the river, see what's on the other side. I haven't explored down there, so I would really like to do that. That's probably enough for 2 weeks. Oh, one more thing. Return library books. I have a whole stack of library books that are overdue, and I feel like wildly guilty about it. So if in the next 2 weeks I can return those library books and reduce that burden, that would be really great. I have a little bit of like a purpose statement here, which says purpose, provide entertainment, escapism, companionship, and inspiration. I would say that that is my purpose in both creating the artwork that I create and also in the content I create. I don't see the artwork I'm making so much as self-expression. Of course it is, because everything that you make is, but in the same way that like people don't just make movies to express themselves, I don't just make artwork to express my feelings, I make it to connect with other people. So this is just a reminder to myself about what I would like, ideally, my work and the content, everything I make, to do for other people, because the artwork that I value and the content that I love to watch, that's what it does for me. So this is my content calendar. I need to do some work on it because there's some blank spaces. There is a certain set of content that I make every week that relates to my graphic novel project, and I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to keep doing that. But then that only accounts for about 3 reels a week. So I need to make sure that the other 2 reels a week, I have an idea ahead of time what I need to do for that, because I have been flying on the seat of my pants a little bit about that. With the YouTube videos, the main issue that I have right now is that ideally I want to pre-release my YouTube videos a week ahead for my Patreon subscribers, but I have fallen behind with this in the last month. When I got sick, I fell behind, and then I started just publishing straight to public because I didn't want to skip a week. So what I would like to do is I want to make 2 videos probably this week, so it's going to be a big week for me this week, and then I will release one straight to public, and I will release one to Patreon, which will be the public video for next week, and then I'll be back on track with being able to release to my Patreon subscribers first and then to release to the public second. So I have written down a pretty wild list of what content that I would like to make, and I feel really excited about all the ideas that I have for this. I know that a lot of creators don't share like what they're gonna make, I guess because they're worried that people might steal it, or I don't know, probably steal it. I guess they don't want people to steal their content, but you guys aren't gonna do that. And also I trust myself that my content is about my work and about me and the things that I'm doing, and it's going to be different from anything that anyone else is going to make anyway. If you find it inspiring, be inspired. Please don't just rote copy everything I'm doing every week. Today I am filming the plan with me. So the next video I'm going to make is going to be a lino cut tools tour. So I'm going to show everyone the tools that I'm using and give a tutorial on how to use lino cut tools, how to hold them correctly. I say correctly, how I hold the tools and how that works. You can hold your tools however you want. After that, I'm going to make a video decorating some eggs for Easter. There's this I see these really cool videos where people use beeswax and they draw on the egg and then they dye it in kind of layers. It's almost like a reduction lino cut print. And so I've been wanting to do that for years. So I'm gonna finally do that and make a video. And then the next one, I want to try out making paper and then printing on the paper that I've made. And that's going to be my Patreon print for April. Then I'm going to do a full tutorial. I'm going to do a tutorial that shows the making of one of my graphic novel pages. So I'll film it start to finish on one of my graphic novel pages as a standalone reduction printmaking tutorial. Then I will do a week in the life vlog, because by that point I won't have done one for about a month. I would really like to do a history of lino cut video, because I feel like the information around the history of lino cut as an art form is quite diffuse and isn't something that's that easy to find in like a standalone package. I haven't found, it might exist, but I had a quick look and I haven't found anything on YouTube so far that is the history of lino cut. So I would like to make a video about that. My May Patreon print is going to be a fabric patch. So I'm going to do a video about printing on fabric, lino cut printing on fabric. For an exhibition that's coming up in June, I think, or May, maybe May. I think I need to submit by mid-May. There is an artist's book exhibition at a printmaking studio in Melbourne, and I would really like to make a project for that. So that will be the video that displays that project. Okay, so I have a little bit of a gap there for something that I need to come up with, an idea. That's okay, because that is well in the future. Then there is another exhibition that I'm excited to apply for, and that one, there's actually two different exhibitions that have a similar theme, so I'm going to make two of a similar project, which printmaking is great for doing stuff like that because you can make duplicates. So the theme of the project, one of them is around showing corners of Melbourne, and one of them is around showing the western suburbs of Melbourne. So I can do something focused on the western suburbs of Melbourne that fits for both things. I have this idea for like a specific collage project that I'm going to use like a book and then put the collage inside. You'll see when I do it, but it's going to be based around a local park near me, and I'm going to take different elements from the park and kind of all collage them in together. And then I want to try out some Tetra Pak etching. So it's like the material that's for cartons of like soy milk and stuff. You cut that open and then you can do dry point on it and etch it, and people use pasta makers as printing presses to print these little etchings, and I really want to try out doing that, and that will probably be something that I also do as my Patreon reward for, where will we be up to by then? So April, May, June, that will be for June. That's a vlog, that's a tutorial, that's more of a tutorial slash try with me, because it could be a disaster. That is also that, and that is that, and the eggs will be that. Info slash education, project recap. So that is my content plan for the next 3 months. There is one little gap in there which I actually quite like, because I like being able to come up with some new ideas as I'm working. But that gives me a really good balance of knowing what is coming up and what I need to be working on and thinking about each kind of week. Okay, I'm going to enter a section in here that's going to be a monthly focus section. What I'm going to do, so this is on my goals page, what I'm going to do with this is that I have a lot of ideas for things that I need to be doing in my lino cut business. For example, I want to make some digital help guides, and maybe even like a little ebook about how to do lino cutting, and like a guide on what tools you need to get started doing lino cutting. But at the moment, my focus isn't there. It's on different things, like getting my YouTube channel really running really smoothly. So I want to set up for each of the months of the year, or for as many months of the year as I can, the focus of that month, so I understand when things are going to fit into my schedule a little bit better. Because at the moment it just feels like everything's kind of weighing down on me. I need to do this thing, I need to do this thing, I need to do this other thing, but I have to focus on this thing first, and I don't have a sense of order around how all of those things are going to fit in together. So if I have a little bit of a monthly focus, then I can understand that in March my focus is more on YouTube than it is on other things, but in a different month my focus might be on working on those digital products, or making work for those exhibitions that I want to apply for might be my priority. So we're going to start with March, and for March my focus on YouTube channel, getting a little bit of balance. So that relates to the goals I have for March in terms of doing some of these other things that aren't just working all the time. For April, I'm making exhibition book, because that'll be due across May and June, and we're going to have the same focus for May as well. I might add a little bit more to this based on what I feel I need to be doing at the time, but we're going to go in loosely so I understand why I'm not working on things that are more based in the future in April or May. It's because my focus is on those exhibitions. For June, I feel like that's going to be nearly mid-year, and I'm going to be very tired by then. So I want June to be a slow down month. It's going to be winter for me by then, and I just want to be I'll be still working on the graphic novel. I want to take 1 week off from doing graphic novel work in June. I will have got to the end of a section of the work, and then I want to be working on the graphic novel, but not doing lots of additional projects at the same time, because I think I'm going to be pretty done with that at that point. Okay, so July. Now for the last 6 months of the year. I am clear on a couple of months what the focus needs to be for those months, but I'm not 100% clear how that needs to play out. So I'm gonna just make July the digital resources month. August. So the collage book that I'm making for the location-based exhibitions, I would like to make a similar project, but just with garden elements, similar to the work that I was making at the end of last year. And making some new and kind of vibrant work to release for my online shop towards the end of the year is a really good thing for me to be doing. So probably we could be doing that across August and September. Now, I know that in October, my primary focus is going to be on producing the books of the graphic novel. I was thinking that while I did that, so I'm keeping creating, because I'm probably going to pause doing the graphic novel over October while I work on processing all of the images I've created across the year. So what I was thinking is I might do a Inktober and do it with the Tetra Pak style printing that I will have tried out earlier in the year. I think May or June I put that down as something I was going to do. So because it's good to keep creating, but doing something that is a little bit faster to create that I can do quickly and on a daily basis might just be the ticket. So Tetra Pak etching, Inktober. November is the time to do Christmas stuff, so decorations, cards. I always fail at doing stuff for Christmas. I always want to do it, I never get it done. Maybe this November is the November to do it. Okay, and December. By December, I'm probably going to be winding down. I'm going to be planning for 2025. Planning for 2025, and I'm going to be thinking about doing recaps of stuff that I've done in the year, of projects from this year. Okay. So that gives me a good sense of what the year is going to look like, what is going to fit in, what is not, and that already makes me feel a whole lot calmer. Cool. Okay. Thanks so much for hanging out with me while I plan the next few months in my work calendar. I hope that it was helpful to you, or you just enjoy kind of a little bit of a glimpse into my planning and my life and how I try and get things done. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you would like to see more content from me, please subscribe to my channel. This video is not necessarily that representative of my content. My content will be more the stuff that you saw me planning in the video. So if you would like to see any of that stuff from me, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.